People, hello. People, when I hold this microphone, I want to go, no! Because this is the microphone that I use for that. But I'm using it. I want to wrap this cord. I want to say, open up that pit. I want to say, breathe, breathe, breathe. But I won't. Today, we're going to talk about something very different. We're going to talk about how, as an artist, the best thing that I've ever done for myself has been to utilize public transportation. If there was an opening title card for this, like if this was a TV television program, it would play right now. But it's not that. This is long form YouTube video. So get together your dinner that you spent an hour making, and then you can eat it in the 10 minutes that this video takes up. Anyway, so like I said, being an artist, I'm stealing this from David Lynch, who was a director that you might have heard of. He said that artists need to stare at a wall and do nothing. And it's very true. And it's very difficult for me to stare at a wall and do nothing when I am at home, because this has all of the things that represent the achievements that I want, all the things that I'm working towards. I'm very goal focused. I'm very future thinking. So it's difficult for me to stop and settle down and be in the moment. And being on the bus or the train forces me to be alone with my thoughts in a place where I have to do more analog style activities. And it truly, truly, truly has revolutionized my growth as an artist. I think it's the best thing that I've done for myself. And now when I take the train and the bus, I do it for my little artist inside of me. That's when I do it, I'm feeding that little artist. And there are many different things that I get from it. The biggest being the fact that I don't have to do anything. And when you drive a car, it's active time that you're putting out. It might be quicker than being on public transport. It might be easier in some ways, but it's time that you're giving away versus being in a train or a bus. You're being moved by the vehicle. You don't have to think. You don't have to do anything. You just get on and off. So you're able to listen to music and truly listen to music. You're able to write, stream of consciousness. Maybe you can do some planning. I do a lot of doodling. Something I do a lot is I find someone on the train that I think is interesting looking, and I'll write a song about them and about their life. A lot of the lyrical things I'm inspired by are very conceptual things. Instead of writing a song that says like, you can do it, you can overcome, I want to write about someone that has overcame and what their story was like. That's like these character-based things are very fun to me. And I get that inspiration from being on the train. And I truly think that that has been an amazing exercise for me, because when I'm on the train, the first thing I do is I write a little page. And that's kind of hard to do when I'm at home, because I have my computer, I have Twitch, I can watch Mario speedrun, I can just kind of bullshit and be on my phone and stuff. And I tend to not be on my phone when I'm on the train because I don't want it to die, because my phone is really important to stay charged, because I use it for directions. Maybe I need to contact someone and figure something out. I'm going to meet someone. I need to be in the loop with things. And when you're in a car, you have access to a charger the whole time. And on a train, you just don't. And I like that. I like the fact that I don't have access to a charger and I have to put my phone away. I like that the train provides me with walls as an artist to create in, because I've never really had success when I don't have constraints or walls artistically in any medium, but especially with writing a song or music or something like that. And I like the fact that I can't Google something that rhymes with something. I can just like write and write and write. And then when I get home, I can Google a couple things and see some words that I might want to punch up. Or if there's something that needs a rhyme better or whatever, I can Google that when I get home. But I think being in the pure kind of output stage, it's nice when you don't have the internet. It's nice when I can't Google songs that I like and read those lyrics for inspiration. A lot of the best lyrics that I've written have been on the train, and it's been because of things that I've misheard and memorized, and they've been wrong lyrics, and then I've made them my own in my brain, and then been able to take them and keep contorting them into something else. And I find that those things, while they do happen other places, they tend to happen for me more often in a space where I don't have all the distractions of life and of the world. And I think just like investing in my local community has been nicer too, because I'm naturally picking businesses that are off of the train line because it's easier to get to. So I'll take the train somewhere and then I'll pick a restaurant that's off of it to meet, one of my friends for lunch. And I like the fact that I don't have the entire city to choose from, and I just have what's right off of the whatever line. That's fun to me. I like those constraints to create in. Another constraint is like the amount of time. If I'm going to do one of my longest train rides that I do is about an hour and a half. And I understand that it is a luxury to be able to do that train ride, because if I had to be at work at 9 a.m. and then be home, that wouldn't be something I would be able to do. I'm incredibly privileged to be able to take an hour and a half to an event and then take an hour and a half home. I understand that. And I'm lucky to be able to do that. But I look at that time as like, I get an hour and a half to write. So I might like segment it as like, I'm going to do this for 30 minutes. I'm going to do this for an hour. I'm going to do my email admin bullshit for 30 minutes. And now I'm going to do stream of consciousness writing on 5 different people I see in the train for an hour. I might be like, I'm going to listen down to this album critically, truly listen to it for, whatever amount of time that is. And you can't do that while you're driving because you're thinking about the road, like that's what happens. Your brain moves, but you can like close your eyes and really listen to what the contortionist did on, what album is that I reimagined, I think, but that was the one I did recently. And it's fucking mind-blowing. I really do those things. And I feel like that has progressed me the most in my little artist journey. There's another degree of this, and it's led to surprisingly more empathy for people that aren't in cars. And what I mean by this is you start to realize that the world is catered to cars. And if you're not in a car, you're treated kind of shitty. I would drive aggressively. Everyone drives aggressively. That's what the car kind of does to you. And when you're walking and having to cross the street and you have to walk way out of your way and then cross and walk again over here, it's exhausting. There's a lot of work that goes into that. Whereas like a car can just speed through. And then if you're crossing, and a car is like kind of slowly encroaching on you, you're pushed to walk faster to get out of the way of that car. That's all kind of shitty. And you see these things and realize how like cars aren't really the best thing for your city and walkability. And everything is made on a very, very large scale for cars so people can see cars. So being out in the city isn't fun because you have cars flying by you all the time while you're trying to like enjoy eating a croissant, and the cars are going past you at 35 miles an hour, and that's not very fun. And it's disgusting and it's loud and it's annoying. And this is kind of a rant. You should check out not just bikes. You check out Cities by Diane. There's many people talking about infrastructure and how it can be better to make a better city for us. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole too much, but the empathy I have for people and the way that when I do have to drive, I drive differently now is, I think, a positive. And I wish that more people would simply take public transport or walk or bike or do whatever out of a car so they could, one, view the world in a beautiful way. Like, when you walk, you discover things. You can look out the window of the bus and the train and see businesses you would never see. You interact with people that are really nice and kind. Like, people that are on the bus and the train are very nice and kind. It's a shared space. Like, people want to keep that space nice. Now, I understand everyone is going to comment about the random unhoused person that's having a really bad day on public transport. But you also get a degree of empathy for that situation that you wouldn't have, because, like, how fucking hard would that be? Like, I treat those situations so differently now. You know, it's one of the only places you can go for shelter, and it's cheap to get onto it. You know, but this is going down a bit of a rabbit hole, and I might make a video on this at some point. But when you're sharing space with people that are also using the same space you are, it changes the way you look at things. And I think it makes your community a lot smaller and bigger, I guess, but it just makes you feel more connected to things. It makes you feel like you're investing time and energy into something. And that's another reason why I use it, is because I want the city to be walkable. I want to have a place where we can go outside and don't have to pay money to have something just to sit outside. You know, I want walkable, clean, accessible cities. And if that's something I want, I need to put my money into that. And that's my money and my energy and time, which is using the things that are out there. I think kind of like maybe a chapter 2 of this would be how accomplished you feel after doing public transport, because a lot of my life is very comfortable and simple. I'm in an air-conditioned place. I go to a rehearsal spot that's air-conditioned. You know, like, it's very easy to exist. I don't have to do anything that makes me sweat. But walking to the train when it's 85 degrees and I have a backpack of stuff, you're going to like sweat and you're going to feel tired. And I feel accomplished at the end of the day. And it's also moderately scary taking the train in the beginning of your little journey with public transport, because you don't know the train lines yet. You don't know the timings. You don't know the little quirks of things. You don't know how to handle these new things. So after you get past that and you get home successfully, you feel massive accomplishment. And I really enjoy that. I enjoy when I see my bus pulling up and I have to kind of run over and grab that bus. Like, then you sit down, you're out of breath and you're like sweaty. Like, that is really, it gives me a lot. And I don't know what that looks like for different people, but I'm just saying what that feels to me. I very much enjoy the accomplishment that comes a part of being on public transport, even the hard things. So look, long story short, baby, you as an artist need to do things that you do nothing in. You need to do many, many things where you do nothing. And my favorite thing to do nothing is tram, is bus. Because I'm still going to the place, yet I get to do nothing. And I think that you should do that. I encourage it. You're going to love it. You're going to have so much fun on it. Just try to do the train if you live somewhere with a train. And take a little notebook and just draw, scribble, right? Do your little morning pages, make Julia Cameron happy, and you might like it. I think you're going to like it. You're actually probably going to hate it, actually, because it's really stressful. But then the second time, you're going to hate it a little bit less and you'll like it a little bit more. And then the third time, you'll probably like it, maybe. I don't know. I got a feeling that you're going to love it and it's going to change your life. I can't wait to hear how it's going to change your life. Make sure to comment in the comments below on how it has changed your life and say, thank you, public transport, for changing my life. Okay.